moving you too far. Any song at every bar. Here to cover your needs. Twin Rivers Music Scene.
Hey y'all, welcome to Twin Rivers Music Scene podcast with your host Madison
and Reed.
And this next artist is a Texas-based rock and soul band from New Braunfels, Texas. These two have been performing together for years and officially formed y'all's band in 2020, right?
Sure.
That sounds accurate.
It's official now.
Fact checked. It is
I was
official.
going to say, fact
That's
check.
been fact checked.
All right, here we go. Well, how are y'all today?
Fantastic. How are
Well,
y'all
you never
doing?
said their
We're
name,
great.
Timber Wild.
Oh, Timber Wild.
We're
Timber
Timberwild. We're Timberwild.
My bad.
Which is Bo Brumble and Garrett Mann, obviously.
Thank y'all for
Yes.
having us.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for coming. So
Of
can y'all
course.
share the story behind the formation of Timber Wild?
Oh man.
You want to take this one, Timber?
Yeah. Sure. Wild. Yeah. I mean, we've known each other for a long time, and then we've known each other for over probably
Like a million years.
11 or 12 years.
Yeah.
And then we would hang out like after hours, and then we developed this like, oh, we both love the Black Crowes.
Mhm.
Oh wow, we should do something musical together. And then it finally happened. We just randomly played a show together, and we're like,
He was at Billy's Eyes, and he
Okay.
needed someone
Of course.
who could sing.
Mhm.
yeah, I was like, man, I don't do like whole.
He just
I don't.
booked himself a show with no
I
singer.
was like, man, I don't
Wait,
do. I don't.
love this. He's like,
Like, I'm
hoping
gonna
for
be
the
there
best.
It's like, yeah, I can do it. Yeah, I can do it.
Yeah, I'll
Hold
do
on.
it. It's fine.
I need a singer. Hold on. And so I got Bo because I always loved his voice. And so we played the show together, and then like halfway through the show, Bo was like, do you know any, or I forgot who
Yeah,
said it.
We were
So
trying
one
to
of
find
us said
things
it.
to play. Like,
Mhm.
what do we both know?
Do you know any
No.
Black Crowes? And the other person was like, oh my God, we just fell in love.
Yeah.
And so we did
It's like
that.
the scene in Step Brothers.
Did we just become
We
best
did
friends?
karate after that.
Built
We,
bunk beds, everything.
Yeah, we
Yes.
did the bunk beds. We
we sliced pumpkins.
yeah,
all the
karate.
stuff. Yep.
And y'all
Talked
wrecked
about
a boat.
avocados and
We've
On a
wrecked
boat.
at least 3 boats so
Jingles
far.
on the boat.
film music videos.
Right.
And then from that point on, we kind of just kept playing shows together, and then we finally said, hey, let's make this, like, let's actually do this.
Mhm.
So we decided to make a band out of it, and 2020, like you said,
Right. We were supposed
Like
to
I
start
said.
Did our
recording.
perfect
research.
accuracy.
Yes.
We were going to record and put out our album in 2020. Like, we were going in the
Mhm.
studio with Walt Wilkins and Ron Flint. Shameless name dropping.
Yeah.
But
We like to do that around here.
It's
Yeah.
a place to do it. Yes.
so, like, Walt called us whenever everything was starting to shut down, and he was
Mhm.
like, man, y'all at least come up and see the studio
Mhm.
where we'll be recording whenever they let us start hanging out together again.
Mhm.
And so, a
Yeah.
year after that, we started actually recording that album.
And it was
So, yeah,
a blast.
2020
man.
was probably the official time. And then our first album came out later. And then it took us 4 years to put out some other music.
Yeah. There's always snags in like releasing music, and so there's always something to fix or something that needs to get done, and then so yeah, it took a while for the record to come out, and then the 4-year gap between the record and our next single was our fault for sure. We just
Mostly
kind of
Garrett's
got
fault.
yeah, it was pretty much all my fault. But yeah, I mean, we just kind of we're like, man, let's start putting out singles
Mhm.
once every few months, and so Bones is our first one of that kind of rotation, and so we're gonna start doing that. People's attention spans are shorter, and and I guess ours are too. We like putting out different singles, like as opposed to just trying to make a full record.
Yeah.
It's like, man, okay, let's do this type of song. Oh, let's do this type of song. So it's like we kind of just leave it open.
Yeah.
Good variety.
And we have a few on deck ready to go
Yeah.
also that are
Yeah.
Nice.
They're
Where
gonna
did
be
the
fun.
name Timberwild come from?
That
That-
was
you.
I kind of don't remember. I mean, well, it's
You were talking to your sister. It like came
so
up.
my
yeah.
my sister went to an elementary school called Timberwild, and I
Okay.
was passing by our like where we grew up, and we passed by the school, and I was like, and we were trying to come up with a name at the same time because we had just gone
For
back
years.
and forth for like 18 years about
What were some of the names that y'all like threw out there that never
Man.
stuck?
18 years.
I fought really hard for Remedy Jones. I thought that was a
Okay.
dope name. Look at the
Okay.
face. See? That
She's
name
like,
was Remedy Jones, I thought was awesome. We had like Red Rose or Blue Rose Remedy was one.
Wow, I
We-
forgot about that one.
We were doing a bunch of stuff
Mhm.
that were kind of like a nod to the Black Crows
Mhm.
without
Okay.
being like we're completely ripping them off. And so we were kind of trying to think of songs that we could just kind of drop a name. So Remedy was one of those songs that we
Mhm.
were gonna just put in
Yeah.
the name. But
remember-
still, Remedy Jones, I feel like is probably better than Timberwild right now.
No, Timberwild's
No,
great.
I agree.
But
Timberwild's
Remedy
better.
Jones is pretty cool. It's
Yeah.
different,
I remember like, well, I mean, Remedy
I'm
Jones.
Jonesing for
It-
Remedy,
I mean,
and we are
that
the
was
Remedy
like,
Jones.
that was like second in
Yeah.
line.
I mean,
And it kind of, I mean, we were, the way that we stated it, we're like, okay, let's just keep going until one of us brings a name to the table and the other one just goes, oh, yeah, that's it.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it kind of just happened that way with Timberwild. Like, it was just like,
We
wow,
would text each
that-
other randomly.
Yeah.
I'd be
Mhm.
driving
How
down
about
the
this?
road like,
Yeah.
ooh.
And
I
then
think
if
there was
there-
like a Rainy Street Remedy was one of our
yeah.
things.
And if there was
Yeah.
like a mediocre response, like if someone said something, the
Mm.
other one's like, okay.
Quiet for a little while.
Yeah.
It's like, all right,
It needs
maybe
to
All
be
right, cool. I don't like it
energy.
either.
Yeah.
I didn't like
Yes.
it either. It's cool.
Then I mean, we wouldn't get like upset. We were like, okay, that one didn't land. Okay.
Well, that's
Yeah.
we've done most things that way. If we
Mhm.
don't both all the way agree, then we don't do it.
Yeah.
There's not.
You want that initial reaction where you're like, okay, yes, we're both super
love
into
it.
this. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
for sure.
I think that's what you do whenever you have a band with somebody is
Mhm.
you can't just like, I mean, you got to make sure that y'all are both feeling the same
Or a marriage.
thing, or a
Yeah.
marriage, which is kind of what
The
we
closest
have.
I've ever been to one is you and me, man.
Yeah, same.
That's really romantic for y'all.
Same.
I
We're
love it.
we get very romantic.
I love it. Okay, so going back to y'all's debut album, you said it was produced by Walt Wilkins. How did that come? Like, how was that collaboration? How did it form? How did you get in touch with him? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
That was Walt and I had talked about that for a long time. I've known Walt for a while. Garrett has too. When I lived in Austin, I would always go see him at Saxon Pub, like Wednesday nights at Saxon Pub. And
You're like, I'm there too.
my friend Kylie Ray Harris introduced me to Walt.
Mhm.
And after like 3 times of introducing me to Walt, he remembered who I was. And then like just, we just kind of got to know each other through other friends.
Mhm.
And he heard me sing. He got to where he would call me up for a song or something,
Mhm.
And then he was like, "Man, we need to do an album. We need to I want to produce your next album. I want to."
All you got to do is hear Bo Brumble's voice one time.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
then you're on it.
It's kryptonite.
And that's,
I mean,
and
here we go.
that's
I was
why
like, Garrett
knows.
that's how I fell into it. Also.
Just hear me sing the Black Crows one time.
Come on.
And so that's kind of how that happened. I met him probably in 2013,
Okay.
something
Wow.
like that. So it was, close to 10 years before it actually materialized
Yeah.
Yeah.
into doing something until we had the songs that we really wanted
Well,
to
right, yeah.
record too. There's a bunch of stuff that I've written that no one knows about
Yeah.
because
Same.
Mhm.
I don't want them to hear it.
Yeah.
You know,
It's our
but when it's
secret.
finally stuff like, actually, I'll show that to Walt.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
all the secret song. Everyone has their secret songs.
There's
They haven't
50.
showed anyone yet.
There's 50 secret songs.
I got so on my voice memos. I
Right.
have like
Well, there's
100.
That's like your
Song
journal
1, 2,
entry.
3.
It is.
Yes.
It's like a journal. It really
Yeah.
is. And like the voice memos on your phone. Whenever you get an idea, you're like, boom, just hit record, and then it really becomes like you might never show that to somebody,
Mhm.
which is kind of cool about it. I mean, you kind of have that thing with you, and then, until you're ready, until it's good enough, because you might think it sucks. A lot of times we write something, or I'll come up with an idea and I record on my voice memo, and then the next morning I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, that's garbage. Like, delete that for sure. You're not ever showing
right.
that to
If you
anybody.
still like it the next day,
Yeah.
it's kind of like if you want to text that girl at 2 a.m. It's like,
you
wait,
think on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wait
well, I was
until
gonna
tomorrow.
ask, like, how do
Yes.
you know a song is ready to record? That was gonna be my
Or ready
If
to
it's
even
still
come out
good.
of the
Ready.
secret
if it stands the
songs.
test
Yeah.
of time,
if it
like
sticks
if you,
in your head,
yeah,
Okay.
if it stays in your head, and if you, I mean,
you're
like
still excited about it.
Mhm.
exactly, because if you might write it and then you record it or on on your phone or whatever, the idea, and you're excited about it. So you're like, oh man, this is the next thing. And for like 2 hours, you're messing with it, and then give it some space, let it sit, and then the next morning listen to it again. And if it's bad, then don't do it. But if you're still excited about it, you're like, boom, we're doing it for sure.
Who are the first people y'all typically show those kind of songs to when you're ready to like bring it out of your secret song collection?
Yeah.
Each
Each
other.
other.
Yeah.
Always like my daughter.
Yeah.
I'll show it to my daughter. But you are usually my first like, hey, check this out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll show it to my girlfriend or to my brother or to Bo.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a thing that I'm like, oh my God, Bo's voice would sound insane with this.
Mhm.
I'm
Most
like,
of 'em,
boom.
right.
Which is
You're like, give me the
Yeah.
credit. Yes.
but yeah, it's I do like to get like a second opinion.
Yeah.
Like I like to have other ears on.
I will
'Cause if it
occasionally
sucks, it sucks.
just start playing them at a show. Also, they're like, and here's a new song. Like Garrett hadn't even heard this yet. Like we're doing this in A. And
Yeah.
he's like, okay, cool,
Yeah.
gotcha. And
I think that's the
Try it
best way to do it, honestly, because
Right.
then you kind of
you see how the crowd reacts.
yeah,
Mhm.
and see how the other. I mean, like I've done that with a couple of songs also, and I mean I can't sing as well as Bo, but
That's
like
true.
in my head, I'm like I hear Bo singing this, not myself,
Yeah, for sure.
but.
How do y'all think New Braunfels has shaped y'all, like as musicians, and also like the music that y'all put out too?
Man, so much for me.
Yes.
Even when I lived in
100%.
Austin, I drove down to New Braunfels all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd come down for an afternoon and end up staying for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, like I
because
don't want to leave.
Yeah.
the thought of driving northbound 35 back
Mhm.
to my house in Austin and not being around the people that I'm around when I'm in New
Mhm.
Braunfels was just like, it was more
Yeah.
than I could handle. And I'd
Mhm.
end up, like my roommates in Austin were like, do you still live here? I was like, no, I pay rent here, I guess. I
Yeah.
don't really, I lived out of my car basically because I love New Braunfels.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
the closest to my hometown since I left my hometown.
Mhm.
Love
Yeah,
it.
it's very much a I mean like, and we've been there for a while, and so
Mhm.
it's like recently it's gotten out of control, but it's still good. I mean, it's still good. Like the music scene is growing,
Mhm.
and like
It is.
people are adding up, and that's fine.
Great music scene.
I'm all about that.
Too many tourists. Great music scene.
But like whenever I first moved there, which was probably like 9 or 10 years ago, it was a completely different town. I've loved it since, but it definitely shaped the way. I mean, just the environment and like the music people that are in New Braunfels, like that hasn't changed, and so that's always been good.
the vibe has stayed the same.
It's stayed
Yeah.
the same the entire time, which is important. And if that ever goes, then I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
Sure.
I'm gone.
How is y'all's collaboration as a duo? I know y'all said that y'all sing like each other's songs, but do y'all ever like kind of maybe have songwriting days or kind of sit down and
We need to do that
It's been a
more
little while.
often.
Yeah.
But we do that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like whenever we were working on some things with Bones, when we're
Right.
knowing that we're going into the studio, we're like, hey, let's get together and
with Bones, I didn't know how to play it.
Mhm.
I wrote the song, but I didn't know how to play it.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, come over, and I'm just gonna like
let's figure this out. Yeah.
sing this song to you
that's
Mhm.
cool though.
and show me how to
Yeah.
play it on the guitar. He's like, oh, you're doing like a like, oh, yeah,
Mhm.
cool, man.
exactly.
Yeah,
and
thanks for
that's-
that.
Yeah, and that's how
That's
it
why
like
we compliment each other well because he is fantastic on guitar, and
Mhm.
I'm like okay on
Mhm.
guitar,
yeah.
and and then vice versa on singing.
Yeah, and you're a really good singer.
Exactly.
And I'm
I
like
was hoping you would send that
phenomenal
back my
singer.
way.
And I'm a fucking phenomenal singer. But yeah, it really is. We'll set dates if we know we have like a deadline or
Mhm.
we know we're getting the studio at this time,
right,
or
we need that song ready.
we're like,
Mhm.
okay, we got to get together. No more. We're not gonna. Let's not go to the bar.
Mhm.
Let's go do this.
And
Or
then when we
let's
get
go to the
together,
bar
let's
the next
actually
day.
let's actually work on the music instead of getting together and just like drinking.
Yeah.
And
Hanging out.
Yeah, because a
having
lot of times it
fun.
turns into that.
it
We're like,
starts being fun.
Yeah.
hey, we did that one. Let's.
Yeah, we worked on it for 30 minutes. Let's
Yeah,
have a beer.
let's
Yeah.
get a drink. Yeah,
Just
sure.
have fun.
Reed and I can relate to
Yeah,
that.
we do the
all
same
like
thing
the
all the time.
podcast.
Kinda-
We're like,
Yeah.
I might come over and I'm like, you wanna have a glass of wine. You want to
Yes.
smoke a joint?
Yeah,
It kind of,
honestly.
dude, it kind of just
Turns
happens.
out I do.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing. Like that's,
brainstorming session, honestly.
it is. And like we'll kind of, and even if we don't finish all that day, we'll start drinking and then we'll talk. We're like,
like,
we
make
should
some
do
notes.
this.
Talking about it.
We'll
Yeah.
think of the thing
Yeah.
what we need to work
oh
on.
man,
For next
tomorrow when we
time.
do, next time
Yeah.
we do this,
Yes.
let's do this.
So, do y'all have any pre-show rituals that y'all do pretty regularly?
Jameson.
Oh,
Definitely have
Jameson shot.
definitely have to have a shot of whiskey.
Okay.
We probably should.
We don't have any like actual like
Any vocal warm ups? Any like dances y'all do?
I do as I need vocal warm ups, so I do vocal warm ups. He probably doesn't do
I
vocal
like
warm
have a
ups.
whiskey and a cigarette.
You're like, I'm up
Usually.
there.
He like
That's I feel like
nice.
it's the
totally opposite.
it's the anti warm up. It's a cold down.
Yeah.
And so
I'm just always sitting on go, bro. I'm
um,
singing in the car as loud as I can, and then I get there and I have to chill out a minute.
but also with his voice, it's like the rasp is good for his voice. I have to like if we have a show the next day after I do something the night before, then I gotta warm up my voice for like 20 minutes or something, and then I feel like it's bearable. But if I don't, then I'm like, no, it's trash tonight. But I have to warm up my voice.
Right.
I do a weird
And
little,
you don't have to do the heavy lifting vocally. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of feel the same way on guitar, where like there's times where like I don't. There's times where I know that I'm gonna hand off most of the like music stuff to Garrett. Like, you're gonna carry me today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna sit here and sing my songs.
I know that I'm not
and-
gonna be able to. I know that I'm not gonna be able to hit harmonies unless I warm up my voice because it's
Yeah.
rough if I don't.
Yeah, I feel like that happened earlier.
You've
today.
heard that, yeah?
Yeah.
Today, yeah.
Yeah.
Today was bad.
On-
Earlier.
No, it was
I
not.
No,
It
not
wasn't-
I
not
was
tonight.
like,
oh,
earlier,
no, it was
earlier
great.
today,
We had a
like
show at 1 p.m. today.
Where at?
which is early.
Grapevine and Green.
Okay.
It's
nice.
early, like
How'd it
no matter
go?
what. That's an early show, regardless
Yeah.
of
It's
where
tough
it
to get
is.
ready for that show.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it was. I did a couple of warm ups in the car, but it wasn't enough. And I mean, went
You
into
sounded
it,
great. I was really just
Hey,
like
you
talking
win some
shit.
to lose some.
you know,
Yeah,
and
Don't
uh,
beat yourself down.
Everyone
Yeah,
had
you
a
were-
great
you were
time.
good.
definitely
Sure.
lost a
You were
couple
good.
for sure.
There was
Some of them were really good though.
there was this one lady sitting in front that like was just like
She was into
she,
it.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Garrett's like, this one goes to you.
yeah. The one person of the crowd that was into it was right there in the front.
Okay, so y'all recently released 2 singles, one being with Bri Bagwell, and y'all recorded that at Green Studios. Can y'all
True.
tell us a little bit about that? Number one, obviously, with Bri, and Green Studios as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
Brianna Bagwell.
Bree
We love
is
Bri.
my heart and soul. I love that woman
We love
so
her.
sweet.
We
with
love
all
her
my
so
heart
much.
and a little bit of my liver. She
She's contributed to a lot of the damage to our liver.
yeah, and she's contributed a lot to the things I've done playing music too. She was, I mean, I met her. We've known each other a long time,
Yeah.
and brought me on shows and got me to open up shows or just get me up to sing a song. I love Bri. Can't say enough great things about her. And she's so good, like such a great writer, great singer,
Works her
great guitar
ass
player.
off.
Man, outworks everybody.
And she's good at what she does.
Love her.
Facts.
What was the question?
How was y'all single with her and
single.
like Green
Oh, it was
Studios?
great.
and
Yeah,
everything?
Studio.
So that she wrote
Process
that
of that.
song. So she wrote that song like 10 years ago and sent it to, I was still living in Austin, and she sent it to me like, hey, I want you to sing harmony with me on this. And at that time I was so new to the scene and I had never done any harmony at all. And I was just kind of terrified, just like, you want me to do it? I mean, yeah, anything you want, but I don't think I'm the best guy for the job.
Mhm.
And she's like, oh no, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. So then, years go by, and I think that she was just kind of like talking to make
Man,
me
a
feel
lot
good.
of years.
Wait, that's
So many years. That was like
crazy.
2013 or 14.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then this summer, she texts me like, hey, you actually want to record
She's
that
like, are you
song?
ready?
Okay, so
like,
I hope
yeah,
you've been
I know
practicing for a long
She's like,
time.
I've got studio time next week. Like,
Mhm.
get ready. I was like, oh, I've been ready for 10 years. I've been ready.
Every day in front of the mirror, Bo will
Yeah.
go and practice
I love the
for
song.
10 years.
I love
I'm
the song.
waiting.
And I think what made her remember it is we were at the river. We were sitting with Guadalupe and Rachel Heap. was sitting there with us like, are y'all ever going to do that one song? And
Mm.
Bri is like, what song are you talking about? She had like, I'm like, the ain't that love, ain't that love. She's like, oh, and she immediately
come on
jumped
now.
in
Love it.
Mhm.
and started doing the harmony to it right away. And
Mhm.
Rachel is like, yo, we're not.
Yeah, why are we not
That's
doing
not on
that?
a record
Why are y'all
right
not
now?
doing that right
Mhm.
now? Yeah.
And so that kind of got those wheels turning. And so this summer she was like, yeah, we got time to do it. Like, let's
Mhm.
do it. And I was still terrified. All this time later, I was still scared to death.
Why do you
It's
think
been
you were
so built
scared?
up, maybe?
Yeah.
It's just not what I do. It's not
Yeah.
my wheelhouse. That's not
Yeah.
my strength
Yeah.
is singing harmony.
Mhm.
But Bri's so good and so encouraging
Mhm.
and
Did
Yeah,
she
oh,
like
you sound
direct
great,
you
you
whenever
sound
you were?
great.
Because I wasn't there whenever you recorded the vocal. What did they like point out the parts, or were you able to pick out the parts? Like,
dude, I just sang that son of a bitch.
boom, come
no,
on
we
now.
did it in parts. No.
Oh,
Uh,
so but I'm saying
I did
did you
hang it
hear
through-
those parts yourself, or did someone point those out?
No,
'Cause-
I imitated what was on the demo that she gave me.
okay, boom. Then that's
Yeah.
that's what I'm looking for. So you are
Yeah.
good at, you are better than you
I'm good
think.
at hearing it, and I'm the mockingbird of our generation.
You gotta.
Another Step Brothers
I knew that.
reference. Yeah.
I
If
knew
you
that
give
you're.
me a melody to hit, I will hit that melody, man. Mostly,
I knew that. I mean, I already knew that you were the songbird of our generation.
not songwriter, mockingbird.
Oh,
Mockingbird or
I said songbird. I
That
said songbird.
Songbird's the
He
original
said
one.
he said mockingbird.
Mockingbird.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But we got it.
Got it. I love that y'all
Mockingbird-
released it on Valentine's Day too.
Yes.
It was perfect timing.
Yeah.
That was great of her to do.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
was.
Can we expect any collaborations in the future?
With Bri?
Or just
Yes.
with anybody?
With Bri,
Yes.
with Bri, yes, for sure. We've already talked about it.
Yes.
Maybe
Well,
not to Bri, but
And there was
between
a Bonnie Bishop collab.
Bri doesn't know.
she doesn't know, but she's
Hey.
gonna do.
Hey,
Bri, you're gonna do
thank you
a
for this
collaboration
next
with us.
song. We really appreciate you.
Yeah, yeah.
Doing,
Thanks for helping us out with this next one.
I'm actually writing a song with Walt Wilkins right now.
Nice.
Oh, did y'all go get going on
That's
that?
gonna be a
I
good
mean,
song.
Mm-hmm.
He asked me to, and I said
Oh,
yes.
okay.
So
Then there you go.
it goes like this.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
No.
I'm
Sing
excited.
it.
No, not at all.
Please, here we go. Here we go.
Acapella.
I was ready.
Let's hear it.
But no, I am really excited about writing with Walt. That's like one of my dream writes right there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's gonna be
He
cool.
literally
He's an
dreams about it.
incredible
He-
songwriter.
he is. He is.
One of my very favorites.
So, do y'all have any shows coming up around New Braunfels that y'all want people to know about to come see you?
We do. Yeah, I do know of one. Next Friday is at Fry Hat Country Store. We're
Okay.
playing. What is that? March 14th? Is that right?
Yeah, March 14th.
Fry Hat Country Store next
Friday.
Friday.
Oh, we're doing. No, we're not going to talk about that.
Are we sure?
Yeah.
What are we
I'm
not going to
sure.
talk about here?
I mean, nothing. We're doing. Oh, I'm doing Junk Gypsy on the 21st. A week after that.
Unbelievable.
I'm also going. Bree just asked me this. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell y'all. So let's.
Don't say it.
Let's
Say
say
it.
it.
Tell
Say it.
them.
She asked me to come sing "Ain't That Love" at the awards at the TRR.
Oh, TRR, we're gonna
be
there.
Y'all are going? Me
Yeah.
too.
Love
We'll
it.
be
We'll see
there.
you
I'm gonna go
there.
sing one song with Bri Bagwell,
Oh my
That'd
god, I
be
cannot
cool.
wait.
Nice. That'll be perfect.
and then on the 28th, we're Cowboys and Cadillacs in New Braunfels. On the
Perfect.
28th,
We'll be there
we
Yeah,
have
too.
full band.
28th.
Fun.
Yeah, that'll be cool. That'll be our first full
that
band
gets
show
us
at that
through
at that
March.
spot.
We're gonna be at Sandfest and Port Aransas.
I've got a busy
Oh,
month.
Sandfest is fun.
That's April 25th.
Okay.
Sandfest. And there's other stuff. Follow us on Timberwild.
Yeah, we always post.
Instagrams
We
and
always post
Facebooks.
our future shows online and everything.
Mostly follow us on Instagram because Facebook is a place for old people to fight about things.
honestly true.
And we
Instagram's
don't
the
do
fun
that.
place.
Ah,
Thank y'all seriously so much. Okay, we're gonna have y'all sign the poster of y'all's lineage so we can.
Oh, our lineage. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Should I make the diagram like the
Oh,
tournament?
like Timber Wild.
yeah, exactly. You gotta
Gotta
do.
be in between. Yeah.
Just sign it the right way.
I always sound
Oh
like
man,
that.
I gotta
What are you talking
reach.
Just get on over there.
about?
Don't
Old
mess it
fool
up.
believes.
Amazing.
Perfect. Well, thank you guys for being
Thank
on
you
the
so
podcast.
much. I feel like
so
we
much.
didn't talk about you guys enough.
Oh,
my
do you
gosh,
want to
this is
interview
How's
awesome.
everything
us?
going?
So
Oh my
how
God,
did
it's
y'all
going great.
start doing this?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Do you
we did a
actually wanna know?
reverse
No, we
podcast
really wanna know.
yesterday.
We really wanna-
Actually,
Oh,
Damon
we
sat down and
did.
did the same thing that y'all are doing, like asking
Damon
us.
did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, he did what?
Y'all are gonna do it better though.
Yeah.
He like sat
interview.
down and reverse interviewed
Oh,
us.
and
Him
reverse
and JJ
interviewed?
did. But yeah, we got started on Twin Rivers in the summer of last year, mostly just doing like show photography and stuff and content creation, promotion, all that. And then we're like, wait, there's like a space for a podcast in New Braunfels because there's so many artists here and there's so many stories. And we're like, no one else has really done that yet. So that's why we got started on it in November.
Yeah,
I
and
think.
it's cool
Yeah.
that we've become friends with a lot of the
Y'all
musicians.
have done a lot
around
in
Yeah.
that short amount of
Yeah.
time. That's
So
Uh-huh.
if there was one person that y'all would rather do this podcast with, other than the person you're doing it with, who
Pin
would
us
that
against
be?
each other.
I was
Nobody.
like, what is happening?
We're like, turn on each other right now. Twin Rivers
I'm just kidding.
are
Reed
no
and I,
longer
when
twins.
We
They're
met,
split up.
we bonded over music. We each
Yeah.
have our own little background in the music industry.
There's like an instant connection kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how we bonded. And then now we're obsessed with each other.
That's good.
And we formed this. And obviously,
Yeah.
New Braunfels, what better place to
Yeah.
start?
No, y'all are
Yeah.
good. Y'all are good
Music
at what you do.
podcast,
It's
so.
really
Thank you. We
I
appreciate
see y'all
it.
everywhere.
yeah.
Well, we
Love
appreciate
it.
the support.
I know.
Yes.
It means a lot to hear that from y'all.
Yeah, it
for
really
sure.
does.
Yeah.
Because we're trying, you know.
Y'all are doing a
Yes.
great job.
It's our passion project. We love it. It's fun.
Yeah, y'all are good
So,
at it. Y'all are good at it.
Thank you.
A couple notes.
Yeah,
Like,
honestly,
write
but I'm like, give it to me.
no, you're doing great. Love it. Love it.
love
No,
the
yeah,
notes.
it was fun. This was a good time for sure.
Good.
Okay, great.
I love having Zach Walter and Matt Briggs in the background.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
really set it off. I
Listening
feel
I
to
like.
just
I know,
heard
they're incredible.
Zach just miss a note.
Oh,
Don't call
That's-
him out on
But
it.
I mean,
So-
We're like,
Totally,
hey,
Zach.
Zach, we heard that.
he does that sometimes.
Zach.
So I mean, whatever.
we see you, bro.
Should we
Zach,
like shout
I
out
love
anybody
those guys.
else?
Fix
Those
it.
are
We got
like,
like Bri, Zach.
Who do y'all
want to
call out on here really quick?
should
oh
we name
man,
drop
who do we
anyone
want to
else?
call out?
Who do you have beef with that
Who
needs
should we
to
call
know
out?
Oh yeah,
right now?
who
Oh,
are
the
you mad
beef.
at right now?
Out some people.
I'm actually super mad at Rio Tripiano right now. I know Bo is always mad at him.
Oh,
He's
I'm like,
looking
I've never
so
not
directly
been
in
mad.
the
but
at Rio
I'm mad at
Tripiano.
Rio right now.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things. Just hey, call me, dude, because we got to figure out some things.
Maybe we should
Um,
talk about it on the podcast. Maybe we can invite y'all and y'all can sort it out.
Yes, we're down to do that. You know what I'm
Wait, like a
talking
little
about.
Reconciliation.
Dude, a battle
Good,
cast.
Yeah,
huh?
I know
At
that Bo would
Riley's.
love to do that because Rio and Bo are seriously always hating each
We
other.
kind of hate each
And
other,
I'm in
but
the-
we're also like
we're in
really
a-
good friends.
Like
It's like a
funny hate?
frenemy
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like
We're-
my brother, but also we're always kind of like a word away from punching each other in the face.
We're
Like,
in
what are you gonna
a
say next?
Yeah,
we're
I
in
wish
a
you
uh,
would, man.
we're in like
Say
a
it.
group. We're in a group
Yeah.
message together, and like we'll all send stuff, and then all of a sudden Rio and Bo will just start
Yeah,
going after it, and I'm just like,
In the GM.
yes. I'm like, yes, this is amazing.
wherever.
I think Garrett's the one pitting y'all against each other.
I do.
He
do
loves
that.
it.
I
Oh,
was just
I did. I put him up
prompting
to
it.
Garrett
it.
He
is
tries to
there.
sell tickets.
I want-
There was a time where we actually were kind of crossways, and Garrett's like, "Hey, how much would y'all pay to watch Bo and Rio fight?" And everyone's like, "Dude,
I went around and asked
As much
everybody.
as I have.
Garrett, you
It's a
little
thing.
Potster.
It's kind of a
Yeah.
thing. Like I want them to fight because it would
I
be-
want them to fight.
and we could make money off of the tickets sold because it's a spectacle
we would
because
sell out New Braunfels.
because
We could sell out
Rio
Whitewater."
Rio is like a big dude. Bo's way smaller than him. So like, who would win?
I feel like you got some like tenacity
We're
in you.
I
You
would
know?
win
this.
so
We're
big.
clipping this clip and we're putting it on our Instagram and
Dude.
we're
Calling
saying
him
Bo.
out.
Do
We're
it.
saying New Braunfels vote Rio or Bo.
Don't waste
Boom.
your money on this fight.
Please
It's
do
gonna
that
be
because-
over
We're
so
doing it.
Because
fast.
guess what? People will vote on that, and people. It was interesting that night when I
clipping it.
asked people. They
Love it.
loved the idea of it.
Yeah.
So we could ticket that. We could
I'm
get it
glad
going.
that this made it to the podcast.
Right.
Venues, whatever
Yeah.
venues are listening.
Whoever
to this,
wants to
we'll,
make some
we'll-
money.
we'll get in touch.
Oh, that's incredible. All right, guys. Anything else y'all want to say?
Thanks so much for having us. Thanks for
Um,
getting us when we were like drunk after a show.
I know,
It's
this
so
was
much
honestly
fun.
Perfect
Perfect.
timing.
I'm obsessed.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Again, this has been the Twin Rivers Music Scene Podcast with your hosts, Madison and Reed, and with our guests, Timber Wilde,
Thank
Bo
you so
Brumble,
much.
and Garrett Mann.
Woo.
Thank you.
Love you, girls.
See ya.
No venue too far, any song at every bar. Here to cover your needs. Twin Rivers Music Scene.